We are live. If you are just now tuning in, welcome. I haven't gone live in a second, y'all, because life has been lifing lately. So I haven't been able to go live for a second, but we're gonna get it going tonight. So I'm doing a three-way stream. So I'm streaming on Instagram, I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'm also streaming on TikTok. D, can you go on your Instagram and tell me if you see it popped up? What up, everybody? Anybody? Tonight I'm taking questions, so you're gonna do a face to face with me. If you're trying to just ask me questions in the comments, I'm gonna have to get to it later. Tonight it's for people who are trying to have face to face conversation. So we're going for an hour. 1 hour is what I'm giving you guys tonight. So if you haven't already, share this link. Let people know that we're live. Share the link. Let people know that we're live. Share the link. Let people know that we are on here. We're live in the comment section. How do I turn on my comments? It seems like I could turn it on for YouTube, but I can't turn it on for Instagram. That's tough. That is tough.
Where are you live on?
Instagram. You see me on there? Yeah. What about YouTube? Am I live on YouTube? I should be live on Instagram. It says it right here. Unless. What about YouTube? Can you hear me? That's YouTube right there. That's the Instagram. Am I live on Instagram? You see me live on Instagram? No? Seems like it's only YouTube. Share this, guys. Share the stream with people who are trying to seek information about training. If you are tuning to us live from YouTube, welcome. The YouTube platform. Here. Okay, so you click on the live. Oh yeah, the live is over here. I can hear that loud as hell. Guys, share the live. Share the live with people. Um, we're gonna see who wants to. I'm doing question and answer. So it's face to face. Um, you guys have to come up and come. So I send you an invitation and you come up and we talk. on live. It's not gonna be where I'm going through the comments and reading the comments. We're gonna be talking face to face. So if you have any questions, uh, okay, invitation. Share the live, guys. Share the live with anybody who you think will find this information valuable. We got Chriselle joining from the Philippines. The Philippines, bro. Damn. I want to go to the Philippines, you know. Is it hot over there? Probably hot as hell over there. I'm testing out StreamYard for the first time. I don't know how I feel about StreamYard. I think StreamYard is if you have somebody else online to talk to. But I think if you're just streaming yourself using the app itself. Uh, Share this video, guys. Share this video. I've always watched you because I want to get better on track. Well, you come to the right place. How to start? How to be stronger and start? Yo, who is this? This is Kent. Kent. Kent the Athletic. Uh, go to my YouTube channel. My latest video. The video is called. Let me tell you right now. It says top coach reveals proven um methods to improve your start. Go check that out. Go check out that video. It says the thumbnail is me pushing out of a blocks and it says sprint faster. That video breaks down how to improve your start. And if you're trying to improve your start, the main thing you have to work on is your acceleration. You have to learn how to do a 3-point start, a crouch start. You have to learn how to accelerate from 10 to 20 to 30 meters. That's how you improve your start. Because the start of a race is 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0 to 30. That's the start of any race. 100, 200, 400, 60. Any one of these races, the start is the 0 to 10, 20, 30. So there's only certain things you could do at that part. So I just posted a video on YouTube that breaks down how to improve your acceleration. So check that out. Log in here. Yeah, so uh any tips for what do I want to talk about? The main thing right now, so what I want to base this conversation off of is where athletes are in their season right now. Most athletes are in preseason. So tonight the topic is about what should you be doing as an athlete in preseason. We're a month out from like early season. Early season is indoor season, right? So we're a month out from early season. What should you be doing right now as an athlete, sprinter, long distance runner, or just a runner in general to set yourself up for success in the regular season? That's what the conversation is about. How can you set yourself up for success in the regular track season? That's what the conversation is about. How to run in the 400 meter. Any tips? The 400 meter is just like any other race. You have to train for it. You have to prepare for it. So if you're trying to improve your 400, I would say the main thing is get faster in the 100, get faster in the 200, get faster in the 3, and that will make you faster for 400 meters. So a good indicator of somebody who could run a good 400 is somebody who get the 300 in a certain time. So if you're trying to run under 50 seconds, you should be comfortable getting to 300 meters in 35 seconds, right? I don't know how much simpler to put it. And it drops. So if you're trying to run, say for example, myself, who's trying to run 45 seconds, 46 seconds for 400 meters, I'm comfortable with getting to 300 meters in 33 seconds or faster, right? My fastest 300 meters is 32 seconds, right? With competition, recorded, ranked, and published. So that just put it into perspective. Um, yeah, so old plus dirty. Let's talk about it. We're talking about, as an athlete, season is approaching. What are what is your YouTube channel? The YouTube channel is linked in the TikTok. Let me know if you guys are not plugged into the YouTube. So type in lifestyle athletics. Type my name is Rockstar Kato, or whatever it says lifestyle athletics on the TikTok. You type that same thing in YouTube and you're gonna get to there's only one lifestyle athletics YouTube channel, guys. So just type in lifestyle athletics. I post long form videos. So you guys see over here, whatever videos you guys see over here on TikTok, I post the longer version of it on YouTube. Sometimes I try to post longer versions of the video on TikTok. I don't care. About the increase speed weekly. Um, Sir, if you think about it, how many weeks? Who is this? Because this is a really good question. How many weeks are in a year, right? How many weeks are in a month? If you are trying to increase your speed every week, there's only a certain point you could get to with your speed, right? So you have to think about when you want to be your fastest. This is how Olympic sprinters train. We periodize training to think about when we want to be our fastest. Because if you are your fastest in September, you cannot hold that until June. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the goal is not to increase your speed weekly. I would say the goal is to have small targets where your training is periodized to a point where, Georgie, if your training is periodized to a point where, okay, I'm trying to run 10 seconds, 10.8 seconds by summertime. So how do I get there? Uh, Background, I have to get stronger. I have to fix my sprint technique, fix my sprint form, work on my recovery, work on my acceleration, and little things. So you work on your first 10 meters, drop that time, then you work on your 20, drop that time, then you work on your 60, drop that time, and then gradually over time, right? You set certain small targets before you just decide to, okay. But the long story short, if you're a sprinter who's trying to improve, looking at it as how you improve your speed, increase your speed weekly is not a good way to look at it, unless you're just thinking in the short term. Where's that TikTok? Is it not on Instagram? That's why I'm trying to be live on. Oh, okay. Okay. My daughter is training for the first time. First time here and trying to. It's going to Oh, good question. Yes, Michael, I am located in Ontario and I'm in Toronto. And this is a really good question. This ties back into what I was just talking about over here. So if the goal is May, you should introduce a little bit of sprinting because sprinters need to sprint. But what you want to do is go slowly with it. So if your athlete is trying to compete in May, or start competing in May, sprint speed work should start before the first track meet, right? At least a month before the first track meet. You don't want to be doing speed work now, especially if it's a younger athlete. You don't want to be very specific. You want to be very general and focus on strength, focus on core, focus on mental training, You want to do a little bit of race simulation. So you want to do a little bit of everything now and make it fun before you get very specific. I hope that answers your question. Um, yeah, if your daughter is the first year of track, you just take it easy. I have athletes who are 11 years old, 12 years old. They're beginner athletes, right? And I encourage them to do other sports, right? I encourage them to go learn balance. I encourage them to go learn agility. So, every sport, they can swim, uh, volleyball, um, basketball, all these other sports that teach them like just fundamentals of movement and just physical activities. And then you want to get more specific closer to when it's competition. But if they're young, you don't want to get too specific too quick. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, if she has track meet coming up in the springtime, that's when I focus on too. So like right now, I am like literally we're strength training, we're doing specific runs like speed endurance training. We're doing plyometrics. We're testing jumps. We're testing strength. We're testing all these little things. But the real speed work doesn't start until you get close to competition because you cannot hold. There's only a certain point you could get faster, right? After that, you cannot hold it. And then you have to keep in mind training fast is different from race simulation or competition fast, right? Like an athlete is not really and truly is not gonna know how fast they go until they're beside other athletes. So I hope that answers your question. Alexis Miller, how can I prepare myself to run the 200 as a former track athlete? Um, 25. Oh, that's a good age. I would say start slow. Get into your mobility, your flexibility, structured training. You want to be making sure that if you're trying to go sprint a 200 meters, and a 200 meters is a raw sprint. That's like a real sprint event. It's a sprint. 100 meters is 100 meters, but the 200 is a real test, right? So, I would say build yourself up to it. Get back into strength training, get back into mobility work, and also structured training. If you're somebody who works a 9 to 5, I would say 2 days per week you want to be doing some type of sprint work where you're running over 200 meters or close to 200 meters to know what that feels like because a lot of sprinting has to do with muscle memory. So, um, yeah, 25 is it's listen, I wish I was 25. I'm 35. I'm 35 years old and I got a personal best in the 400-meter hurdles and the 400 this season, this past season, right? So it's not like I'm trying to sell you misinformation. The goal is to, right, set yourself up. Alexis Miller, if you're trying to run a 200, when is this 200-meter race, right? Like set a goal. Okay, next summer I'm going to enter as an unattached athlete at a track meet and I'm going to go try and run a 200 as fast as I can. Up and from now until next summer, I'm going to dedicate myself to where I do 2 days of sprinting with good recovery in between, and I want to make sure I'm focusing on my flexibility. And the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you're sprinting correctly. So you want to make sure you're focusing on a good warm up and don't change your warm up from day to day. You want to lock in with a warm up and continue that warm up for a long time. So you want to be doing this warm up so when you get to competition you're doing the same thing. Yeah, no problem, Michael. Any type of information I can provide, I'm willing to. But yeah, Alexis, I hope that answers your question. Good luck, man. The a former track athlete coming back is like that's like the goal. That's what I like to see. This is why I do this to revive the love for track and field, for revive the love for athletics and sprinting in general. So it's never too late to set that goal for yourself and take small steps every day to attain it. It's not impossible. You want to focus on your warm up is going to be the biggest thing, your recovery and structured training. Don't get up and sprint every day, right? It's better to go slow some days and then go fast on certain days. And when you go fast on certain days, you want to focus on your recovery. And also, you're on the right channel. I post videos over here. I like to run the 200 too. 200 is one of my favorite events to run. Even though I'm not the best at it, I love it because I know there's room for improvement, and it's such a raw race. So, um, stay tuned, man. I have multiple videos over here showing you if you improve your sprint form and improve your warm up and just set goals. Like if your goal is to run a 200 next summer, when are you going to do it? What track meet? What day is it? A time frame. You need to have a time frame, and that will help you. Yeah, you started training in June. Yeah, there you go. So you seem like you have months under your belt. So again, time frame is the most important thing. So you want to set yourself up for success. So okay, if you've been training from June, so you're looking at next summer to go run a 200, depending on where you are in the world, right? So if and then you could test your waters indoor too. So if you're somebody who has access to or there's indoor track meets, go run an unattached race indoor. Go run a 300 indoor, right? You don't have to run. You don't have to go. You don't have to. Go run the 200, but you could go run a 300 and treat it as training just to see how fast you could run in a 300. And then your 300-meter time could tell you how fast you could run in a 200 as well. So I hope that answers your question. Oh yeah, better tonight. A nice sprint to that. Yeah, there you go. You have it. Seems like you have it. That's good. That's a good routine. You strength train 3 days a week. Um, strength training. Be careful with the strength training too. Okay, so make sure you're doing specific strength training. Don't do so. My philosophy is, as a sprinter, you cannot strength train like a bodybuilder to improve speed. So you have to be very specific when you go in the gym. So you want to focus on what your strengths are, get extremely good with your strengths. So if your strengths are squats, right, and you could do a deep squat, try to master a quarter squat and see how much more explosive you could be with a quarter squat, right? See, if you master the quarter squat, then try to do like a squat jumps with weight and be very explosive. Master things like, you understand what I'm trying to say? So you could go in the gym and just, oh, okay. All right, so you're in safe hands then. If you're doing the exercises that I do, take your time with the reps and sets, learn the movements, and focus on full range of movement, and you'll be all right. Trust me. Because everything I post is the stuff. What I've been trying to do, it's hard to do, but what I've been trying to do is kind of document my weekly strength training programs because I live 2 days per week. Some people like 3 days. I like 2 days, and I try to spread my 2 days out so it's not my 2 days are not just rigid where it's like Tuesday, Thursday. It could be where I'm having a long week, and my 2 days where I'm lifting could be like, okay, I lift on Monday and I don't lift again until Friday, right? But on those 2 days when I go to the track and I'm doing sprints, my warm up will include a little bit of resistant work as well. So, because you could do strength training at the track as well, right? You get a little weight vest and you do all your drills in your weight vest. That's strength training, and it's specific to sprinting. Yeah, Alexis. Good luck, man. You got this. 25. Oh, take me back to 25. Those were the days. Those were the days when I was. Whew.
TikTok was giving you up, but you'd stop looking.
Uh, I'm live on the talk. Guys over here on the tickety talk. Can you guys share the live so people could come in? Because nobody's over here. I got a question on TikTok says how to get more confident in racing because I struggle with two conversation. What?
Being too conservative.
Uh, a lot of confidence in racing has to do with preparation, right? So if you're an athlete who know you've been preparing a certain way, just let your body do what it do. Don't try to overthink 400 meters or a couple seconds. Think about it. If you're running a 300, you're only running for a couple seconds. So the time that you're thinking, you could be reacting and feeling your body and listening to your body and see where you're breaking down and feeling your shoulders, feeling your hamstrings, glutes, feeling all these things while you're in sprint. So if you focus on the movement, then you won't be too concerned with unless you're somebody who's very concerned with the results. Because if you're concerned with the result, then you're not gonna be locked in on the moment and trying to be the best athlete you could be in the moment. But Gabby, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Gabby, uh, confidence come from having a plan and having a structured program and executing your plan and being very realistic with yourself. That's gonna give you the most guidance. um, tempo runs. Alexis, yes, tempo runs help. I like tempo runs, but I'm very specific with my tempo runs. So most coaches don't time tempo runs. Right? I like to time them. I like to give athletes a specific time to hit, right? With a specific rest period. Because I control the tempo. That's what tempo run is supposed to be. You are supposed to control the tempo of the tempo run. So okay, um, I say for example, a good tempo workout for me or for what I give to my athletes is repeat 300s, right? And I say I want my guys who are running under 50 seconds for 400, I want them to come to the finish line in for under 45 seconds. And I give them 5 minutes rest. And I need a couple of those with 5 minutes rest. Right? And if you run the first one at, say for example, they come to on the first one in 43 seconds, then they can't go any slower than that. And it's still tempo. They're not going all out, but it's not slow and it's not timed. So the thing, tempo runs are good if you time them, if you tempo it, if you time it, and if you have a certain target to reach. That's what tempo running is about. But most coaches, when they think tempo run, they just say, okay, go run. And the athlete don't know how fast they're going, what times they're hitting. So the athlete could be jogging. You understand what I mean? So the meaning of tempo is to really and truly control the tempo. Like you are choosing the tempo that you want to do. So tempo runs are really good. You do 30-second runs, those are good. I have one of my programs have those in there for my athletes, for my sprinters. 30-second runs, they're really good. Um, so what you should do with your 30-second runs is to mark your distance depending on how many you have and try to improve on your distance with each one. So for example, 30s, it takes you 30 seconds to get to 200 meters, then you try to go past 200 meters for 30 seconds. And that could be a good tempo workout, but with a target. I hope that answers your question. Maybe there's a greetings from Mexico. Hey, Mexico. Yo, listen, I've been to Mexico City, man. I was down there. I was in Mexico City. Sebastian, 9.58. I like your name, bro. I see what you're going for there. I see what you're going for there with that 9.58. I watched that shit live. I was in the stadium. Um, uh, I was there down there in Mexico City for the CAC games, 2011. Yeah, something like that. CAC games, Mexico City. It was crazy. I got third in the 400-meter hurdles. Those were the days. Are you Sean Calhoun? Callahan? Are you going? Are you going for it again in this? Man, I'm moving. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going for it this season. I think I'm just trying to keep my six pack. I'm just trying to be as fit as possible. And we'll see how next season goes. We'll see. I'm just at the moment I'm just trying to inspire younger athletes and older athletes that it's never too late to start training and nothing is wrong with starting where you are, especially if you have access to the type of information that I'm giving to you guys. So Sean Calhoun, I don't know yet. It's a possibility. You will know. You will see when the season starts. If you see me play around at a few meets, then you know I'm up to something. But for now, I'm just training. What are some Arrow, Arrow Z7? Or what kind of name is that? Why is your name Arrow Z? Why don't you use your real name, bro? What are some things to help with? How often should I do core? Yeah, this is a good question. How often should you do core work? So this depends. If you have a strong core, and this is how you determine you have a strong core as a runner or a sprinter. Say for example, you do a run or an all-out sprint, and you could hold your form until the race ends or till the run ends and you're not breaking down, then you have a very strong core. So maybe then you will only need to do core work maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, right? It's just like any other thing. You have to practice consistency over time, but you don't want to overdo it, right? Because muscle memory is real. Once the muscle remembers what to do, then you don't have to try too hard. It's all about maintenance at that point. So if you have this is how you know if you have a strong core. Record yourself running, do an all-out sprint. Look at if you're breaking down, if the shoulders are tight, if you're twisting from side to side. Things like those will tell you if your core is strong. And if you're seeing almost like what would you call it? A breakdown in your sprint form, then you could improve your or put more add more days to your core training and follow my videos. Follow my videos. All my videos, just go on the Lifestyle Analytics YouTube channel. I think I have a playlist that says core strength training for sprinters. If you follow any one of those and you do those once a week, my wife does it maybe every Sunday.
I do it every Friday and Sunday.
She does it 2 days a week. Every Friday and Sunday she does it, and she has a really strong core, right? So you don't have to do it every day. I don't do core work every day. And fun fact, you have to be careful what you consider core work too, because when you go to the track and you do sprint drills, that's considered core work, right? Because you have to use your abs, you have to use hip flexors, glutes, that's considered core work. So if you do a strong sprint session, normally when I do a crazy sprint session where I'm like sprinting close to max speed, my abs are sore and my hip flexors are sore. So I know I don't need to do core work the next day. I would push it until my body is recovered. So I like this maybe once or twice a week. 7 out of 10, that's not bad. That's more that's if your core is if your core is 7.5 out of 10, you're better than most. Right? Because I have guys who are extremely fast and they if I give them some leg raises to do, they're like bursting in sweat, right? So yeah, just 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and females usually have stronger core, right? So push yourself with the core work a little bit. Maybe try to stretch your planks out to see how long you can hold a plank instead of banging out a bunch of abs. Hold a plank for a long time, or go follow one of my plank videos. I have a 10-minute one on there. Tell me if you could go through the whole thing without stopping. Um, let's see what's going on over here on the Tickety Talks. What's really that can make you run faster? Go to my YouTube channel, follow if you want to improve, if you want to run faster. The first thing you want to master is uh your sprint form. That's the basis of running fast. You have to learn how to run correctly or sprint correctly before you could sprint faster. So improve your sprint form, Joseph. Improve your sprint form, and that right there will help you to sprint faster right away. And then you will hit a plateau, so you have to learn how to structure training and periodize your training so you could get faster over time. So you'd probably have to introduce a little bit of plyometrics, uh, sprint, right? So you want to go from 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0 to 30, and so on and so forth. For myself, we like to go further. So we work on 10, 20, but we go up to 80s, 90, 95. That's how far we go. Uh, from Thailand. Who's this? We're from Thailand. Respect. Who is this? You got shin pain, bro. Maybe change your surface. Shout out to Alexis. Core works are killer. I love that. I kill them too. We be going in with the core work. We don't play around. Bro, change your surface, bro. If you're having shin pain, you need to change your surface. Thank you. Hey, big, big. Keep going. Keep going, man. Keep going. Next question. How can I improve my hip flexor? Sometimes there we got improving your hip flexors is a little bit tricky because your hip flexors are such small muscles and they run under, right? They're underneath certain muscles. So you have to be very specific. So I would say think about think about sprinting or running. Your hip flexors help to drag that foot or pull that foot up towards you and stabilize you when you hit the ground. So leg raises will help, but the first thing you want to do is work on your mobility. You want to be able to strength train the area. I would say work on strength training the area. You could do some hip thrusts will help. Bar. I like the For beginners. I like to do weighted lunges or just lunges in general will help you to work on that hip flexor strength. And then the next thing you could do is do some hanging stuff where you're hanging and driving your knees or pulling your legs up towards you. The laying down on the ground and doing the leg raise is more advanced, right? And it's a little bit more challenging. But if you could stand up and put your hands over your head and pull the knees up towards you with weight on your ankles, that will help you to improve your hip flexor strength. But yeah, you want to start with mobility stuff first. So start with stretching, getting very loose in those areas. Hey guys, we live. I thought it would have been live on and yeah, but it says on live now. It says I'm live am I live on Instagram? Are you sure? Then why is this thing telling me that I'm live on Instagram? All right. Yeah. So you have to make sure you work on flexibility. That's gonna be big. Flexibility is gonna be the main thing that's gonna improve your hip flexors. Yeah, I post a lot of video because I find that one of the reasons why I was able to improve and get so much faster with like over time is because I got very intentional with my um hip flexors, and I got very intentional with my mobility, not just flexibility, right? Because you could work yourself up to a level of flexibility. It doesn't mean that it's gonna translate to speed, but if you could get very mobile in certain areas like uh, glute hamstring or calf and so calves and hamstring are hip flexors and quads. If you could get very mobile in those areas, then you can move better, right? And so muscles flow better. I hope that answers your question. uh, just do it. Just do it. This person is Jamaican. Just do it is Jamaican. Um, or maybe they're just messing around now. When second season as a 400 meter, should you do 200? Are you self coach, bro? Because this question right here is when the question is when starting the season as a 400-meter runner, should you do 200 or 400 repeats for speed endurance? Um, no. Speed endurance. You can only hold your speed to a certain. So I would say work on going over in the beginning of the season. You want to work on going over 400 meters, and then work on going hitting right under 400 meters at a certain time, if that makes sense. Right? So you don't, if you're gonna run a 200 at a track meet, you just don't want to be running 200s in training every day. It's not gonna translate. So you want to go under that distance and go for a certain distance and go as fast as you can and see how fast you could get to a 150, see how fast you could get to a 300, and then use those metrics to help you. Is upper body important for what? Alexis, yeah, that's where everything comes from. Go look at a good example of how important your upper body is. Just go look at the any one of the top any one of the winners from on the male or female side in the 100, 200, or 400. Look at their upper body, how developed it is. Upper body is very important. I train my upper body. I don't try to isolate, so I make my movements compound, so I'm hitting whole body, but with the upper body emphasis, like the clean movement or the overhead press with like a split snatch or something like that, right? Where I'm pulling the bar and pushing it over my head, or pull-ups or push-ups, right? I don't just do a bunch of bench presses because it doesn't translate to good upper body strength for sprinting. But upper body is very important. I would say master your body weight first, so you want to be able to do at least 50 push-ups straight, right? Work your way up to it. You start off doing sets of 10s, 20s. You need to be able to do at least 10 body weight pull ups, right? It sounds crazy, but it's really not, right? You have to work your way up to it. Upper body is very important when it comes down to sprinting fast. I don't neglect that part at all. I try to develop my shoulders, my upper back, my abdominals, all these areas. What exercises can help me to do pull-ups? Pull-ups and chin-ups. I would say uh do assisted first, or you could do try the Australian pull-ups and chin-ups first to learn the movement. And I would say in order to get better at the movement, just do it assisted. Get a long band, wrap your band around it, put your foot in it, and learn how to let yourself down, let your arms extend and pull yourself back up. And mastering your push-ups will help. So the more you could push your body weight for push-ups, the easier a pull-up is gonna be or a chin-up, right? And it varies for some people. I do a lot of push jerks and barbells and dumbbells. So yeah, push jerks are good. Go to the go to the go to the barbells too. If you're using dumbbells, just use the bar by itself. There's 35-pound bar, 40-pound bar, or 45-pound bar. Try the 35-pound bar and do the same thing, and then put 10 pounds on, stuff like that, right? I can only do 10 push up. What is it? Improve more. Keep doing it. Do them at elevation. So if you could do 10 from the ground, do it from the bench and do more reps and do variations of it and get your upper body stronger. Then go back to the ground, right? If that makes sense. So if you want to do more reps to improve, do the same movement, but do it at an easier do it easier where instead of being on the ground doing the push-ups, doing the hard ones, you do it from like a slightly elevated position where like a box or a bench, right? And you do more reps and you go variation. So you go wide and you try to go as wide as you can and then come back in. But the goal is always to go slower with the movement instead of jumping right into it, right? So if you're trying to work on your pull-ups though, Google do some research on the hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Australian, I could find it. Hold on, I'm gonna find it and show you what it looks like. The Australian. Hold on, where's my phone? Oh shit, I can't find it because I'm using my thing. But Google Australian pull-ups and just watch that video and then try to set it up just like that and do it the same way. Oh, okay. There we go. Is what I'm talking about. Well, you fast, bro. Like I'm waiting to see you pop off. I know you're quick. Of course, Alexis. Keep spreading the message. You know, share the video. Share the videos with somebody. Share it with people who would find this information valuable. How to keep motivation throughout the whole season, even when you feel like you're starting to lose it. Oh, but this is a good question, bro. I've been there. I've been there. This touched me. I've been there where I feel demotivated. I'm not seeing the results I want. I'm wondering if I'm still, if I still got it. What worked for me is focusing on what I can control and setting small goals for myself. And then each time I achieve those little small goals, I celebrate them and I focus on that. So I'm not going too ahead of myself or thinking too big. I keep it very simple. Um, I hope that answers your question. I love dog. I love dogs. I love dogs too, bro. What type of dogs do you like? I don't have access to Barbara yet. Oh yeah, so just take your time with it. How many days should you do core work, Roxy? Um, the sweet spot is 2 days per week. Um, Again, like I explained to Alexis, it all depends on if you have a strong core. So in order to know if you're breaking down, you have to record yourself doing the exercises or doing a sprint and see if you're twisting from side to side. Are you leaning back? Are you actually sitting when you're sprinting or picking your foot up? Yeah, you want to go 2 to 3 days per week. Especially if you're a beginner, you want to go 2 to 3 days per week and be very specific with your core work. I post core work on here, so just follow those, bro. I'm telling you, follow those, you'll be all right. And most of the things, you hit your core twice a week. So I go twice a week, sometimes once a week. Um, but I train 4 days a week sometimes. So a lot of times I'm doing specific stuff in training that will kind of compensate, so I don't necessarily have to do crazy core work every other day. Right? So if I'm doing hurdle mobility, that's classified as core work. If I'm doing drills, like crazy sprint drills, that's classified as core work. So it all depends. Why do carbon plate tennis shoe make you faster? I've never heard of that. Sebastian, I've never heard of carbon. I know the carbon fiber plates that they have in like the new distant running shoe now. It's kind of reactive, so it kind of propels it gives you a little bit of propulsion. So when your foot hits the ground, it reacts to the ground and kind of push you out the ground a little bit. But that's the carbon fiber plate. Yeah, for tennis, I don't know. I'm not too versed on tennis. We do sprinting over here. This is not a tennis channel. This is a sprint channel for my sprinters. Like Simbo once said in an interview that I like my core. Yeah, but that's Bolt though. You're saying Bolt. You're saying Bolt had slight scoliosis in his back, so he had a back problem, right? And you can't study what he did. Like, who are you as an athlete, right? there can only be one Usain Bolt. So what do you need to work on? I know for a fact the reason why Bolt used to do specific core training, which was like planks and stuff like that, mainly in the preseason and early season, is because he had slight scoliosis in his back. So he had to offset that by making his abdominals and back muscles very strong. So that's just a fun fact, guys. You can't take what somebody says in an interview at face value. And don't compare yourself to Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was extremely talented. He's like a one of a kind talent. Right? So you can't watch what he did, because if you try to train like how he trained, you're not gonna get the same results. What diet should an athlete? What? I think you're asking me what type of diet should athletes be on? You want to be on a clean diet. You want to stay away from the fast food. You want to be making sure you're eating some whole foods. You want single ingredients food, and don't be eating a lot of processed food. Right? Think of your body as like a Ferrari or something, like a very expensive car. And when you pull up to the gas station, can you put 90, not 97, 87 in an engine that needs premium gas to function at its best? So if you're trying to function at your best, you want to be making sure you're fueling for performance by taking in uh, mainly single ingredients foods, and stay away from the fast food, the ice cream, the sodas, the candy, right? Like those type of things are not gonna help you. What is your definition? Oh, this is what we were just talking about. My definition of a good diet is like I just said. Uh, if you are somebody like myself who, I don't have a personal chef. I'm not no elite athlete where I have like some crazy meal plan where I have my chef cooking my food. There are athletes out there like that, who have all of that provided for them. But if you're just a regular person like me, this is my method. My method is I stay away from fast foods. I naturally don't like very sugary, ice creamy, soda pop type of things. So I drink a lot of water. I'm not. Sometimes I feel for fruits, but not all the time. And even if I do feel for fruits, it's probably gonna be one fruit. So I try to eat as clean as possible, and watch the amount of food that you're eating, right? And you want to be making sure that you're adding some type of leafy greens to your meal. So you want to eat some type of vegetables every day. It doesn't have to be at every meal, but at one meal you want some type of vegetable, right? And some type of like protein, some type of carb, right? It's not complicated, guys. It's just stay away from the processed food. Don't be trying to, like I said, if you're trying to be an athlete and you're trying to be the best version of yourself to perform, you have to fuel for performance. And fueling for performance meaning that myself, 95% of my meals are cooked at home, or I try to eat close to whatever I would cook, even if I'm going to eat out, if that makes sense. So I'm not gonna go eat McDonald's tomorrow, Burger King the next day, and think I'm gonna run fast, right? So clean meals, don't eat too much food, and it's not complicated. There's no such thing as a perfect diet for an athlete. It's all about knowing who you are as an athlete and understanding what works for you, how your body reacts to certain food groups. I need some good running shoes. Any suggestion? Oh, um, good question. Uh, there's so many for if you're trying to do like road running and all that stuff. Sure, you want something with a little thicker cushion. But if you're just an athlete like myself who do a lot of cross training, where sometimes I'm at the track and I wear my sneakers and I still want to be able to wear it to the gym or even wear it for a walk. Um, I could let me show you a good. So look at something like this, right? Look at the heel. Right? The heel is not too elevated. Right? So this is a perfect example of a cross trainer where it's not a road running shoe because I still have lightness up the front and good heel support at the back, but it's not a thick heel or a thick cushion all the way around it. So 11s. Okay, I'm about to get off here now. Hey, F. What? Anyways, I'm gone from here. I'm going to Instagram now. Instagram, we live. How do you go live on Insta? Click. You're leaving me?
Yeah.
Why? Can I go chill out? Okay. I'll be down there shortly. Yeah, but for a running shoe, you just go with any one of the brands will do. Like New Balance, Nike, any one of them. There's no just get cross trainers instead of like a road running shoe. I want to build muscle. To do so. I'm trying to get back into track journey. No, just take it slow. Muscle building happens over time, right? And it happens with structured training. So you have to be making sure you're training a certain way. So I would say be very intentional with what you're eating if you're trying to build muscle, and also be very specific with your training. So if you're trying to build muscle, where do you want to see the definition? If it's in the shoulders, then you know you have to do certain upper body exercises. If it's in the glutes, then you know you have to do certain exercises. If it's hamstring, you have to do certain exercises. So muscle building is not not hard. You just have to be very intentional about it. Okay, we live on Instagram. We live on Instagram and YouTube. It was good talking to you, Alexis Miller. I wish you nothing but success in all your track endeavors. Uh, Thank you for being a loyal subscriber of the Lifestyle Athletics YouTube channel. Continue to share the content because the goal is to have everybody running, no matter what the age. That is the goal. Okay, I'm jumping off of YouTube in 2 minutes. So I didn't plan to go for this long, but it happened. Do you eat junk food? No, I don't eat junk food, bro. In a month. Do you eat junk? I don't. God, I don't eat junk food, bro. I don't deal with that. Just just think about what you just said. Junk food. Why the hell would I be putting junk in my body? No, clean food or no food at all. I'd rather go without food than eat something that I'm just gonna like not feel good afterwards. Okay. Welcome everybody over here to the Instagram live. Um Tonight we're doing questions. So tonight we're talking about um the 2025 year is fast approaching, and we're talking about what you need to do now to set yourself up for success in 2025, right? What steps am I taking? And ask me questions about that, and I'll see if I could help you guys. I'm good. I can't pronounce your name. So what is your PB in what event? You're asking me what is my PB in which event? I run so many events. Sometimes I'm in the one, sometimes I'm in the two, sometimes I'm in the four, sometimes you catch me in the six. Maybe once in a blue moon you'll catch me in the 800. All right. It was nice talking to everybody over here on YouTube. We're gonna leave you here. If you are just not joining, jump over to Instagram. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the Lifestyle Athletics YouTube channel. We got lots and lots of informative videos coming your way. So, without further ado, your boy's out. And wait, I could add my own. Wait, I don't want to add nothing. I'm just gonna end it.